welcome to SeaWorld Adventure Parks. We're literally tons of fun, unlimited thrills, and second chances are all in one place. For our tours through SeaWorld Orlando, I will be showing you every major attraction in order the best I can. From the playful bottlenoses of the Dolphin Cove to their rescued sea life. From the barking pinnipeds of the Pacific shores to some of the world's most famous animals. So as you would on a real visit, we'll start with a brief look at its first 3 sections within what they call the Sea of Shallows. After you enter, I highly encourage you to admire and get a family photo shoot with their iconic lighthouse and simulated bay. If you continue down the left path, eventually you'll say hi to our pink Caribbean friends. And if you're up for it, get in line for Manta. And hopefully afterwards, head towards the Manta Aquarium. Designed to look like a seaside village, decorated with mosaics inspired by the sea creatures themselves. It opened with roughly 3,000 animals, 60 species, spread out within 184,000 gallons. And the first exhibit will literally brighten your day. A mid-sized living coral reef that reminds the public just how important they are to the ecosystem. And the exhibit indicates that they are just as beautiful as they are endangered. Next, you're invited to go under the sea in a semi-circular cave and stop and watch sharks and rays fly over your head, getting a different perspective of many animals you might not see at a lot of other parks. I'd love to stick around here, but this is only a preview of what's to come. Along the back wall are 2 tanks connected by a tube, which is a clear indicator you'll find an octopus. But for like the 5th time in a row, for me, they were not signed and were not on exhibit. But I did see anemones and pink sea stars. So instead of an 8-legged animal, I still got to see one with, you could say, hundreds of little legs. Straight across are 2 shelf tanks with more small fish of the tropics. They're both completely see-through, again giving a preview of the main tank. Down the line is a large column split in 2, home to weedy sea dragons, experts at camouflage, and very obviously a close relative to the seahorse. And speaking of which, at our feet are horseshoe crabs and lined seahorses, followed by the main event, viewable through the stone archway and from several places along the roller coaster's queue. This is a display of masonry ruins flooded with 120,000 gallons and a swarm of 300 total sharks and rays when it opened, including southern and leopard stingrays, shovel-nosed guitarfish, the bonnet-head shark, the docile zebra shark, and the endangered lesser devil ray. And because of their manta-like appearance, I don't think I'm wrong in saying they are the stars of this aquarium. Now last, but definitely not least, is another columnar tank featuring a pop-up dome so the kids can be underwater with what I assume would be their favorite fish. And that was SeaWorld Florida's opening attraction. Their second, right across the path, is the Pelican Preserve. Maybe some of you knew it as Turtle Point, home to several endangered sea turtles in need. But since they've been moved elsewhere in the park, it's now a sanctuary for rescued brown and white pelicans that suffered permanent injuries and cannot be released into the wild. Which brings us to the third stop. Under the shelter is the Stingray Lagoon. With 2 waist-high open-top tanks, one of the corners is reserved for lovable but not touchable pups, adjacent to a 40,000-gallon bay, showcasing over 120 cow-nose and southern stingrays. It opened in 1973 and was expanded in the 90s, but I think it still holds up and is one of my favorite touch tanks. And it helps that it's not called Stingray Bay. You can circle all around, and if you reach down just below the surface, you're likely to get a very friendly, velvety high five. And that was our little introduction to SeaWorld Orlando. Thank you all for watching, and next time you hear from me, we'll just turn around and take a trip to Key West.